Hi, I'm Spiders, and by spending your time efficiently, you can accomplish a lot more in a shorter amount of time, and this 5-minute video will be including some of my best tips for doing that, so let's get into it. Now first things first, one of the biggest time sinks in Deepwoken, and something that everyone has to do, there's really no way around it, is progressing your builds. Because of this, knowing the fastest ways to progress builds can be really helpful for saving time, and it's something that on its own can probably save you many hours across multiple builds. That being said, what I believe to be the fastest way to progress in Deepwoken is by doing Diluvian, but more specifically being boosted in Diluvian. Now no matter how you feel about boosting, this is an effective method, so let me explain how it works. Basically, the first thing you do after making a new build is going straight to Diluvian. You could optionally do Trial 1 first, but it's kind of up to you. And once you're in Diluvian, you basically just climb up somewhere and let your friend solo Diluvian on his own, up until like wave 25 or maybe wave 50 if they're confident. By the time they complete wave 25, you'll have gotten a lot of XP, and also some bell progress as well. And from there, you pretty much just repeat. Pretty simple, you can basically do this all the way up to power 20 and progress your entire build this way. And this method can get you to power 20 very quickly in just like a few hours. Now some people do already know about this method, but one thing I haven't really seen people talk about is you can actually boost yourself instead of asking for a friend to help you if you want to. What you could actually do if you want to is have an alt account that has a max PV slot, enter the Diluvian on your PV account, and just sit up there farming XP on your other account you want to progress. Now if you think about it, this is actually a really efficient way to progress because not only are you progressing normally pretty quickly as well, but you're also getting some pretty good loot from Diluvian at the same time. So you can kind of hit two birds with one stone and progress while farming PvE as well. I'll claim this is kind of on a whole nother level of min-maxing your progression. So I don't know if most people are going to want to do this, but if you really want to be efficient, I guess that's available to you. Now for my next tip, one thing that is also a big waste of time is sailing. And especially with after verse 2, how big the map has gotten, I'd really suggest avoiding sailing as much as possible. And one way you can do that is by using the Hive TP portals. Around the map you can find portals like these, like this one's at Estrus right now. And by interacting with these portals, which you get access to after completing the Wash Your Face quest at Starswept, you can be teleported straight to Hive, which gives you access to these 5 portals, each of which take you to a different location around the map, which can be really helpful for saving a lot of time you would have spent just like traveling around and sailing. So because of this, as much as possible, you should be trying to use these portals instead of sailing to get around the map. So this next tip I'm about to tell you is really helpful for training Fortitude. I learned this from a friend who told me about Scripper Gripper's method for training Fortitude, so shout out to him. But yeah, basically you head over here to where the wind's kind of blowing, and you want to get to this spot right here where there's this wall, and you basically just want to spam the Fortitude training, and then eventually you get like blown back by this wind here. You put this training vest on too, and what this will do is give you really good training for Fortitude. So here I'm at 16, you can see I can spam the boulder a bit more, use the training vest, and yeah, you basically just do this over and over again, and this will train your Fortitude pretty quickly here. And yeah, this can be really helpful for builds to go reinforced armor, since just to get a lot of Fortitude. And by the way, the old Brutus method isn't really as good anymore because you can't stack up as many NPCs as before since there's like a barrier. Normally that would be a really good way to do this, but it's kind of gone now. So this is the new method I've been seeing people use. So yeah, this can be a pretty helpful method. As you can see here, we'll just do it one more time. And then when you're done, you just light hook out. And yeah, pretty simple. Another thing that you'll probably do a lot during your playtime is go down to the depths. So it can be really helpful to know all the whirlpool locations. Most people might know the really common ones, such as this one here, which is right next to the Etrus, and you can see we're at the palace, and this is main terrace over here. But besides this one, there's 5 other whirlpool locations that can be really helpful to know just to save some time going to the depths when you need to. Another one is right here around Lorisia. It should be somewhere around over there. If you sail over there, you should be able to see in a second. And yeah, there we go. Start to load in. We can go in the free cam, and as you can see, it's right next to the gate over here, right over to Lorisia. And the last one that's luminant that I think is really helpful to know about is right next to Etrus. So as you can see here, we're at the ice trainer. There is the center tree at Etrus where the TP marker is, like the big white tree. And right over here is another whirlpool. And this one can be really helpful in ganks. When you're getting ganked to Etrus and want to run away in order to protect yourself from like a drown or a death, you can just kind of swim over here sometimes and get away. And besides that, in the Eastern Luminant, there's another one at Primadon right over here. There's also another one near the Starswept Valley, as we can see over here. And also a bunch at the Bones Watch. So yeah, basically, it can be really helpful to know where these whirlpools are if you want to go to the depths, or just escape dying, whatever you need to do. So yeah, just knowing these spawn locations are is pretty helpful sometimes. And one last small tip, but one that I think can be pretty helpful with saving a lot of time, is that there's actually all of these shrines in the depths you can find in the overworld. For example, normally you use the Shrine of Order as Songseeker, but you can also find it down here in the depths, and maybe if you need to like reroll some cards at the Shrine of Chance beforehand, you can do that as well. There's all these different shrines down here, including one that acts as Mystic too, so that saves some time. But yeah, if you ever need to go to Yunshul or do something, and you happen to need one of these shrines, this can really save you a lot of time, which is pretty helpful sometimes. You can use these shrines while you're here, so just another good thing to know that you have this option available. These are some of what I believe to be the most useful tips for saving your time in Deepwoken. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.